Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. My name is James Scaresbrook and thank you very much for joining me. I am opening something a little bit special as today is actually my birthday. Some family coming over for dinner tonight, so I thought I'd open something from the cellar, the Intrepid cellar, a wine that I purchased back in the days when I was, scouring Langton's for any bargains. From iconic producers, and one that, of course, has an amazing pedigree and is very much one of the most collected producers in Australia is Cullen in Margaret River, and I think this is my last of the Cullen wines, perhaps from the cellar. This is the 1998 Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot before it was named Diana Madeline. According to the back label, this vintage is a blend of 69% Cabernet Sauvignon, 25% Merlot, and 6% Cabernet Franc. So I've got my cork forks, as I've been calling them, but I've been told that's not what they're called, but that's what I like to call them. So I'm going to cut the foil, and I'm going to see how it is holding up. And then I might just let it breathe for a little bit. I might look at decanting it, but I'm not sure. With an older wine, it's not always advised to decant. The only reason you decant is if you're going to pour it straight away, just to get rid of the sediment. But don't leave an older wine to breathe for too long, because it can have an adverse effect on the wine. It might actually fall apart. There we go, cork in one piece, just a little bit of residue, but the cork looks like it's in pretty good nick, actually, considering that it's almost 20 years old. So first look, it looks like it's holding together really well. It's showing, pretty good colour still. It does show some development. It also shows a little bit of cork in the glass, so I'll have to, let's see if I can get that out. There we go. There's some development, it is starting to get a little bit of a brown hue, which you would expect after almost 20 years. It certainly looks mature on the nose. It's certainly showing a lot more of that sort of reduced note, not reductive, but reduced. Like as a balsamic kind of edge, not too reduced. It's showing the sort of leathery cigar box notes. The fruits have certainly started to fall away, but you sort of see some dried cranberries in there, but it's much more about the sort of mature, tertiary, sort of savoury edges. It does have that dustiness, which you do see in Margaret River Cabernet Sauvignon in particular. It's possibly looking a little bit shy. It might need to open up just a little bit. But yeah, some very, very sort of salty caramel notes as well. Let's taste. It's in good condition. Yeah, it's an interesting combination of some of those tertiary savoury edges with still just a little bit of sweet fruit in there as well. I'm not sure what the 98 vintage was like. I believe it was a good one, which, you know, what many people consider a good vintage is a warm one, certainly sort of pre-2003, I think. So there's probably some darker fruit characters in there. In its youth, it would have shown probably a lot more of the classic Cabernet varietal characters like cassis, like blackcurrant, blackberry, that kind of thing. But that certainly has sort of softened out now. It's quite long. It's still showing its structure, which is very interesting. You know, it still looks sort of quite deliberate. You know, the requisite amount of time in wood, some of it possibly new wood. You know, the right amount of racking, that kind of thing. It looks quite deliberate, if that makes sense. 20% new oak, 35% 1 year old, and 45% 2 year old for 18 months prior to bottling in December 1999. It will sell well, and it has. It's still only 13.5% alcohol, which is really exciting to see. It has very, very good balance. It's certainly not hot in any way, and that probably contributes to the fact that the fruit is not really overt and broad. It's quite focused. But this is very much a classic example of Margaret River Cabernet, Cabernet Merlot. I'm interested to see how it develops over the evening. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like button below. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what your impressions of older Margaret River Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot blends has been. Subscribe to the Intrepid Wino YouTube channel. Be sure to come to visit me at intrepidwino.com so you can see some of my other content. But until next time, cheers and happy birthday to me, I guess.